You can feel it, can't you? This quiet collapse beneath the surface of modern life. A world that once demanded strength from men now sedates them with comfort, screens, and soft illusions. The air itself feels heavier, not from responsibility, but from the absence of it. And as you move through your days, there's a silent ache, a recognition that something in you was meant to stand taller than this. You were born into an age where comfort is worshipped like a gentle god. But every offering you give, it costs you a piece of your edge. Soft beds, easy answers, endless entertainment. None of these things seem dangerous, yet they siphon the fire from a man's bones. Musashi warned that a warrior rots long before he falls. And today, men rot quietly. Behind glowing screens, behind hollow smiles, behind routines that demand nothing of them. There was a time when hardship was unavoidable, when a man met the world head-on because he had no other choice. Warriors were carved by cold mornings and unforgiving roads. But now we live in an era designed to shelter you from adversity, and it's killing the very part of you that was built to endure it. Standards used to be carved into men like commandments. Now they dissolve with the slightest discomfort. You see it everywhere. The excuses, the shifting of blame, the shrinking of ambition. Strength is treated like an outdated relic, unnecessary, until life suddenly demands it, and men find their souls unprepared. And in that realization, something inside you stirs. A quiet rebellion, a remembering, a pull toward the version of yourself that refuses to kneel before the softness of this age. Because deep down, you know a simple truth. If you don't rise above this world, you will be swallowed by it. Every warrior begins by meeting the same adversary, not a rival, not a beast, not a battlefield. It's the trembling presence that lives inside his own chest. Musashi understood this. He taught that the first war a man must win is the quiet conflict within his own mind, and you have felt this enemy's breath on your neck, the hesitation that keeps you from moving, the fear that coils around your decisions, the subtle whispers convincing you to stay small. This enemy knows your weaknesses better than anyone else because it was born from them. It grows each time you betray your potential, each time you choose ease over effort, each time you silence the voice calling you to rise. Modern men blame the world for their stagnation, but Musashi would simply hold up a mirror. Inside you lives a battlefield where desire clashes with discipline. You want comfort, yet you crave greatness. You want freedom, yet you obey your impulses. You want strength, yet you avoid the struggle that would grant it. And this war rages quietly, visible to no one, but devastating to your destiny. Weak men make excuses. They look outward, hunting for reasons why they cannot begin. But warriors know the truth. Your impulses are not your masters unless you kneel to them. Discipline is the art of refusing self-betrayal. It is a blade you forge every time you act against your weaker instincts. The world will always give you reasons to stay comfortable. But comfort is not your ally. It is the disguised enemy that waits for you to collapse. The real battle is not fought in the streets, in the office, or in the gym. It is fought in the dark moments when no one is watching, when the only person you must overcome is the one wearing your face. If you can conquer the enemy within, the outer world becomes a trivial opponent. If you fail, it won't matter how strong you pretend to be. Your spirit will always fold at the first touch of resistance. You were taught to run from pain, to medicate it, numb it, hide it, or outsource it. But Musashi lived by an older law. Pain is instruction, not punishment. Every ancient warrior understood this truth. Pain is the compass that points toward growth. When your ancestors felt discomfort, they leaned into it. They knew the flame that burns you is the same flame that purifies you. But modern society treats pain like a defect, a malfunction, something that must be avoided at all cost. And in that avoidance, men lose the very thing that shapes them. The masculine spirit is tempered like steel, only forged through pressure and heat. Without friction, there is no edge. Without struggle, there is no depth. Without pain, there is no transformation. This world offers you comfort, but it steals the very discomfort that would have awakened your strength. Musashi believed that if something hurts, it means something in you is being revealed. Pain exposes the weakness you were meant to overcome. It shows you where you are soft. It exposes what you have avoided, and if you listen closely, it tells you what must be sharpened next. But when you escape pain, you escape the lesson. When you hide from hardship, you hide from the man you could become. Pain is not the enemy. The refusal to learn from it is. You must rewire your relationship with suffering until it becomes something sacred, a signpost, a teacher, a silent mentor shaping you from the inside out. And here is the paradox. The pain you avoid becomes the prison you live in, but the pain you endure becomes the power you walk with. Warriors choose the discomfort that makes them grow. Weak men choose the comfort that makes them fade. There is a moment in every man's life when he realizes the path ahead must be walked alone, not because he rejects the world, but because the world cannot follow where he is going. Musashi spent years wandering through forests, mountains, and silent roads, not as escape, but as purification. Solitude was the forge that shaped his clarity. Today, loneliness terrifies men. They cling to noise, distraction, validation, anything to avoid hearing their own thoughts. But solitude is different. Loneliness weakens. Solitude strengthens. Loneliness feels like abandonment. Solitude feels like alignment. Loneliness is a wound. Solitude is a weapon. You must learn the difference. The warrior path is not a crowded road. It does not come with applause, companions, or a map. You walk it because you hear a calling inside you, a signal from the deeper parts of your nature. You walk it because the silence reveals what the noise was hiding. You walk it because direction is not loud, direction is quiet. The world will try to pull you back with its distractions, its comforts, its hollow invitations. But Musashi walked alone because he understood a truth most men never learn. When you are always surrounded, you are always deluded. Silence sharpens you. Solitude aligns you. Stillness reveals you. To walk alone is not to be lost. It is to finally see the path without obstruction. The warrior's journey is the reclaiming of self, not the acquiring of approval. And as you take your own steps into the quiet places of life, you will discover something unexpected. The more you walk alone, the less you fear the world, because you finally understand yourself. Every man wants to be respected for what he does in public, but a warrior is built by what he does in private. The world worships spectacle, but Musashi worshipped discipline. His mastery came not from grand battles, but from invisible rituals repeated endlessly in the shadows. In today's world, men only try when someone is watching. They perform, they brag, they chase validation more fiercely than they chase growth. But warriors understand a different law. What you do unseen determines everything the world will eventually see. Discipline is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is the quiet, repetitive commitment to doing what you said you would do, long after the excitement has faded. Rising early when your body begs to stay in bed. Eating clean when your impulses demand indulgence. Training when your mind invents excuses. Pursuing skill when distractions call your name. These are not tasks. These are vows. You sharpen yourself through repetition until discipline becomes your nature rather than your struggle. You grind not for praise, but because your spirit demands it. Every repetition is a prayer. Every sacrifice is a small offering to the man you are becoming. There is honor in this unseen effort, a purity, a kind of spiritual integrity. Because when you discipline yourself privately, you tell the universe a quiet truth. I am not doing this for them. I am doing this for me. And that truth builds a foundation too solid to be shaken by judgment or applause. Warriors train long before the battle begins. You must do the same. Let others seek comfort. Let others live publicly. Your strength will be built in the dark, while no one is watching, by the choices no one will ever congratulate you for. Musashi carried 2 swords, but he sharpened far more than steel. He sharpened his awareness, his discipline, his patience, his instincts. He treated his entire life as a blade that required constant attention, and so do you. Your blade is not metal, it is your habits, your focus, your discipline, your ambition. If your life feels dull, it is not fate, it is neglect. A blade left unsharpened becomes blunt long before it breaks. The same is true for the spirit. Each day gives you a choice: sharpen or decay, move forward or fall asleep, strengthen your edge or let it fade quietly under the rust of procrastination and distraction. Modern life dulls men without them noticing, not through catastrophe, but through comfort. A warrior sharpens himself intentionally. He refines his skills, piece by piece, rep after rep, day after day. Understanding that mastery is never owned, only rented, and rent is due every morning. Strength is not an achievement, it is a maintenance ritual. The world teaches men to wait for inspiration. Warriors do not wait. They apply pressure, constantly. Musashi believed that skill is a moving target. The moment you stop improving, you start falling behind. The blade dulls the second you stop caring for it. So sharpen yourself. Train your mind with the same focus you train your body. Cut away the habits that weaken you. Grind away the rust of excuses. Polish your purpose until it reflects clarity again. Your life is a weapon, whether you shape it or not, but only a warrior chooses to sharpen it every day. Strength today is confused with aggression. Modern men think power is loud, dominant, explosive, but Musashi understood the deeper paradox. A man is strongest when he no longer needs to display strength. Anger is easy. Fury is instinct. Anyone can erupt when pushed, but true strength is measured by composure, the calm presence that does not bend under pressure. The warrior carries a steel spine, not a storming heart. Ancient warriors mastered their emotions not to become emotionless, but to prevent emotion from steering the blade. They knew rage blinds judgment. Ego destroys strategy. Impulse invites defeat. Strength without control is simply a tantrum in disguise. The masculine paradox is this: you must cultivate a soft heart and a hard will, a gentle spirit and an unbreakable frame, compassion without surrender, power without chaos. You have met men who act tough but collapse under real strain. Their aggression is a mask, not a core. Warriors do not need to pretend. They walk with a quiet gravity, a presence that does not need volume to be felt. When a man controls himself, no one else can control him. He becomes ungovernable, not through rebellion, but through self. His emotions become tools, not threats. His mind becomes an ally, not an enemy, and his strength becomes something others can feel without him ever needing to raise his voice. To carry strength without anger is to embody the very essence of discipline, the stillness that holds the storm, the restraint that proves superiority, the calm that turns chaos into clarity. Honor is not the reputation others give you. It is the promise you make to yourself when no one is there to witness it. This world rewards performance, but a warrior's soul is built on private vows. Musashi lived simply, not because he lacked options, but because simplicity kept his code clean. You carry your honor alone. No one applauds the moments when you choose the harder path. No one celebrates the temptations you resist. No one sees the quiet choices that shape your integrity. But those choices define you far more than anything the world notices. Modern men trade their values for approval. They bend their principles for convenience. They compromise their standards to avoid discomfort. But every compromise chips away at the inner structure that holds a man together. Musashi's code was rooted in restraint, precision, and truth. He lived with an awareness that each small decision shapes the warrior you become. Honor is not some grand gesture. It is the everyday refusal to betray yourself. The world may tempt you with shortcuts, comfort, and easy victories. But a warrior understands that anything gained without discipline is lost without consequence. You do not choose honor because it benefits you. You choose it because it is the only path that lets you look in the mirror. Without regret, identity is not built through aspiration, it is built through refusal. Refusal to lie, refusal to fold, refusal to accept a life beneath your potential. Every time you choose the harder right, you carve another line into your code. Honor is a lonely weight, but it is also a liberating one, because when you carry it, your path becomes clear, not easier, but clear. Every era produces the men it deserves. Weak ages create fragile spirits, but they also awaken a rare kind of individual, the one who refuses to bow to the decay around him. Musashi lived in a world of war, yet his strength came not from chaos, but from the discipline he carried within. Today's world lacks strength, not because strength has vanished, but because men have forgotten how to embody it. But you are not here to blend in with this age. You are here to rise above it. The world does not need another distracted, weakened, half-awake man. It needs someone who remembers how to stand when everyone else collapses. Someone who can walk into the noise of modern life with silent clarity. Someone who sharpens himself daily, lives by a code, controls his emotions, and embraces pain without fear. A warrior does not preach, he lives, and his life becomes a quiet signal to others. Strength is contagious. Discipline is contagious. Honor is contagious. When you walk with a sharpened spirit, the world adjusts around you. You are not responsible for saving this age, but you are responsible for refusing to become a product of its weakness. Your life can become a blade that cuts through the fog others are trapped in. Your existence can serve as proof that strength is still possible, that masculinity is not obsolete, that discipline still builds greatness, that the path of the warrior is not dead, merely forgotten. Become the man whose presence steadies the room. Become the one who carries weight without complaint. Become the strength this world quietly hopes still exists. Because when one man stands tall in a weakened age, he does more than rise. He reminds the world what a warrior looks like.